Farhana, and I will be reflecting on practical 6, which is a quantitative descriptive analysis. So the product that we tested on is gummy jelly, and I will be focusing on the aroma attributes. Okay, so given the 3 samples, the one that have the strongest aroma is the gummy jelly with no coatings. I remember the flavor was blackcurrant, and the aroma of it is really strong, super strong, compared to the other 2 that have coatings, which is sugar coated and sour gummy. I think, in my opinion, the coatings have masked the true aroma of the gummy jelly.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Noriman Shamin Zaidi and my matrix number is CW230019. In this video, I will discuss my reflection on the sensory test I participate for the first part of practical 6, specifically the mouthfeel test. This practical uses 3 different types of gummy samples. For the mouthfeel, I will talk about the chewiness of the 3 coded samples, which are 932, 568, and 175. For sample 932, I rate the chewiness of 4, which is slightly rubbery. For sample 568 and 175, I rate both of the sample chewiness as 3, which is moderate.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Fazmi. For aroma, sample 175 had the strongest aroma, significantly different from 932 and 568. For chewiness, no significant difference were found among the samples despite slight variation in scores. For firmness, significant difference were observed between 568 and 932 and 175 to 932, with 568 and 175 being similar. For astringency, sample 568 was significantly more astringent than 175 and 932, while 932 and 175 were similar. And lastly, for sweetness, sample 175 and 932 had similar sweetness but were significantly sweeter than 568. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Kartiani and my metric number is CW230037. Today I will talk about the reflection on the flavor of the sample that was provided to us during sensory section. For me, each gummies give different flavor apart from sweetness. All the gummies are coated with different flavor, which are sugar coated gummies, salt coated gummies. To start with sugar coated gummies, it was predominantly sweet, as the sugar coated enhanced the sweetness of the gummies itself. Next, salt coated gummies, which is my least favorite because the salt can bring out hidden nutrients in fruity or sour gummies, making the flavor profile more dynamic. Then gummy jelly, which has no coating, the flavor of the gummy itself is more prominent and unmasked. As conclusion, there are visible difference between these 3 samples by their flavor profile. Thank you.
As a panelist in the sensory evaluation test for practical 6, focusing on the quantitative descriptive analysis of gummy jelly, I found distinct difference in the aftertaste of the 3 samples. The sugar-coated gummy jelly had a weak aftertaste. It was slightly sweet but faded quickly. The orange sour gummy jelly had a moderate aftertaste with a tangy flavor that lingered a bit longer. Lastly, the grape gummy jelly have a slightly strong aftertaste with its bold fruity flavor, leaving a more lasting impression compared to the other 2 samples. Overall, I found that each sample had a clear difference in how their flavors stay after tasting, which made the test really interesting and fun to compare.
Hi, I am Akmazel Helmi. Lastly, let's look at the overall impression. Every sample had a distinct advantage and each person's preferences were different. Sample 932 was my favorite because of its well-balanced quality and weak sourness. Sample 568 was bold and attractive but too strongly sour for my preference. Despite being sweet and chewy, sample 175 lacked the complexity of the other sample and felt overly rubbery. I learned how different sensory qualities influence individual preferences in this lab. That's all for our group. Thank you.